Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Nevin K with Resist Trump, and I've got Britt G here with me, who's attending our meeting, um, our national organizing call, ICE Out, um, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about today. What I want to do up front is share a couple of things. So we're the Resist Trump campaign. We are trying to make it easier and more fun, a little more fun, to resist Trump. How do you like that, Brittany? You like that
It
slogan?
sounds fantastic. We have to have some joy somewhere. It's a form of resistance after all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
So yeah, we're that's kind of like what we are doing. We're a group of about 15 remote volunteers, and we have this like portfolio of offerings that we are creating together, that includes like projects, and campaigns like this Ice Out call. We've got toolkits for local groups, and we really just want to make it like easier for local grassroots groups to get into lawful, nonviolent civil resistance. So, I'm going to just briefly describe what lawful, nonviolent civil resistance is, because that might be interesting to the people who are on this call. So, if you look at this presentation slide, you'll see that most of the stuff on the left is stuff that still needs to be done in a democracy, right? Like it's um, the voting in elections got to do it. Writing letters to representatives to let them know what you think. Like, please, if you're doing that, keep it up. I should probably do more of it. Um, Canvassing for a candidate, right? Or whatever it is. Um, if we want a democratic system to work for us, we've got to do those things. It's part of our duty, right? But we also like are in a situation where we've got an authoritarian, or an aspiring authoritarian, or an authoritarian, depending on who you are or who you've talked to, right? Is in our country now, like leading our government right now. And lawful nonviolent civil resistance is the methodology that we're proposing, inviting, suggesting, recommending, urging, right, our fellow Americans to explore. And lawful civil resistance includes things like boycotts, strikes, protests and demonstrations, uh, artistic and cultural resistance. Something that I'm continuing to learn about. Yesterday in our Stop the Lies Fox national organizing call, we ended up making like a zine for people who are attending No Kings 2 to print out. It's still like a work in progress, like kind of experimental, but we were visited by another activist who sometimes attends our meetings, who goes by the name Anne, and gave us a lot of ideas on like how to think about making a zine. And then we sort of integrated, the resources on the campaign, like our newsletter. And so now we're gonna like, anyway, we have got this whole zine thing going on. We do not engage in civil disobedience. We actually have a code of conduct that states that if you intentionally engage in acts of unambiguous civil disobedience, you could be subject to removal from as a member of our campaign. Um, but we want to also acknowledge, right, that like just because we as an organization deem civil disobedience to be, beyond what we are capable of committing to as an organization, right? Um, there are moments in American history where civil disobedience, like that of Rosa Parks and others, I'm sure, have made a really impactful resetting of what justice even looks like. And it's unfortunate that we have to literally disobey the laws to get people's attention that the laws are unjust. But sometimes, or that a situation is unjust. But sometimes, at least in my view, I should say, it appears that in the interest of justice, which should be one of the key values of any democratic system, um, civil disobedience is a choice that people make. So we want to honor it, but we're not committing to it in any shape or form. Just that's kind of where we draw the line is at lawful civil resistance. Um, yeah. Then I just want to mention a few things. Does that sound? Am I hitting the right notes, Britt?
Yeah, you are. I was going to ask a question. I kind of wondered this. Why are I think I know, but the banner drops, why are those in between lawful, because I know it's a progression, lawful civil resistance and then civil disobedience?
Yeah, let
Because
me.
it's technically you don't have a permit to hang banners and drop banners.
I think when I was like writing that particular word, let me actually go back to it. Maybe we can like just if there's something about it we need to
Oh,
adjust.
I was just curious. I think it's fine. That was just something I.
No, because like like banner dropping sometimes like when I was thinking about that, I was like imagining like something that took place inside of like a Capitol building and like unfurling like
Oh,
because
yeah.
that phrase can
Yeah.
be both lawful and it can be an act of civil disobedience, right? Because
Okay.
it's kind of a gray area. Um, so, but then again, like if you're what I've learned is that if you're bannering over a highway overpass,
Hmm.
that would be fully lawful, right? There's a little
Okay.
bit of gray area that I don't frankly even fully like. I'm not an expert at, but I do recognize there is gray area, right? And we have like
Okay.
some loose guidelines on what the gray area looks like. Um, yeah, but we're still every day we're trying to figure that out and get better. Yeah, we probably have a long way to go. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Making great strides very quickly.
yeah, doing what we can. This is the freedom of expression instrument or sort of a clause of the Constitution, the First Amendment, which states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Uh, okay, well, that's the First Amendment, so that protects our right to meet, talk, and explore ways to petition our government for a redress of grievances, right? At least that's what I think as a constitutional non-scholar. And then we've got the rights of the accused, which cover, the fundamental rights of individuals who are protected by the Constitution. Look up whether or not you are one of those individuals. I don't know if all of these fundamental rights apply to non-citizens, for example. I just don't know. But what I do know is that this is where those rights that are guaranteed to citizens are contained in the amendments that were contained in the Bill of Rights, and then in some cases selectively applied to the states via the 14th Amendments. Um, there's a word for it, like a phrase, like it's a I don't remember what it is, but it applied the guarantees of the Bill of Rights, most of the guarantees of the Bill of Rights to state action in the states. That's what the 14th Amendment did. Or that's one of the things the 14th Amendment did. Um, let's do intros of myself and Britt. Britt, you want to go first or should I go first?
You
I'm gonna
go right ahead.
Okay, I'll go right ahead. All right, so a little bit about myself. I'm a organizer. I'm a member of the Resist Trump campaign. I'm a Libra, so October is a good month. Who are you and what brings you here today? Who am I? Who am I? Who am I really? I believe I am a human. What brings me here today is the ability to, explore the Ice Out campaign with anyone who shows up and see where that conversation takes us. I'm based in Austin, Texas. My passions, basketball, I don't know. Superpowers, I don't know. The power of nothing, I don't know. And then if you could change anything about the US Constitution, what it would be? Oh man, that's a crazy question. Um, if I could change anything, I think I would make it easier to amend. That's what I would do.
Mm,
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah. Thanks. What about you? You want to answer?
Sure. I'm from Houston and I'm here because I just want to help make a difference and learn how to make a larger difference in whatever way that I can. I think a lot of people are just kind of paralyzed with fear. I was there for a really long time. I can say that starting to take action, becoming involved with you guys, that's made a large difference
Good.
for me as far as just a sense of control and whatnot. So even
Yeah.
if it's a false sense of control, it's in my
Uh,
head, so it works. I am, if I say why all I'm here, I will be talking forever. So, my passions and superpowers, oh my goodness. I love South African and African literature. Um, and I don't know a superpower. I'm remarkably able to fall off of any object or lose my balance and fall from any height and be unscathed. That's my superpower.
oh,
And if I could change anything about the Constitution, probably the Second Amendment,
hmm.
maybe a mandatory federal age limit, and then hand it all to the states after that. Bump stocks, I don't know the terms, all of those things, high-powered ARs, let them decide that. I don't know.
Okay.
That's just kind of what crossed my mind.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think the Second Amendment's been problematic in some ways. I would to say the least you could say about that. Um, Catherine Kavanaugh, how are you? Are you able to come off of mute? Okay, I think Catherine may just be an observer today, which is totally fine. Is that okay with you, Britt? Yeah. Okay, cool. You're still on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Yes.
You're good. All right. So we did little introductions. Let's see what else we got here in our little orientation guide. Hmm. I think I'm just gonna go straight to the theory of change because that's probably good to like just jump into it. Um, we'll see how that goes, if that's all right. So our theory of change is basically that we want to have sorry, I just need to disable annotation. We want to reach a thriving democracy free from authoritarian control, right? We are choosing to go outside of traditional political channels to basically build power in order to be able to deploy it when appropriate. Um, Lawful alternative channels that exist to us include breaking Trump's pillars of support, which we'll be talking about today, bridging to Trump's base, and a few other techniques that we're trying to suggest people engage with and that we're trying to encourage our grassroots groups that we're affiliating with to get engaged with. Um, we want to build a network of groups that may be wanting to get into lawful nonviolent civil resistance, either if you've got like a crew of activists who are maybe you could foresee could be ready for this. And then we've got an offering for existing groups, like maybe you're with like a local Indivisible or other local group, and you want to get more kind of committed towards lawful nonviolent civil resistance. So that's like another kind of opportunity that we're building for people. We're saying like, guys, like, please, support the people who are lobbying elected officials and doing everything within traditional political channels that needs to be done, right? Because we that is our system, right? Maybe the system could be better. I'm not going to say that it's the best system, and it's probably not the best system. But it is a system, and achieving change through our existing system of a country of hundreds of millions of people may be the most orderly way that we resolve our situation of authoritarian control. And building power and deploying it strategically could help with that. We understand that, in democratic transitions, you've gotten or in situations involving democratic breakdown, if a lawful nonviolent civil resistance movement can emerge to kind of nudge the democratic system back into what it was, that can be a helpful thing, right? Um, does it get us to a thriving democracy? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Britt? Do you have a thought on that?
I could go back and forth on that one. Um, I think in order to get to a thriving democracy, it's going to be just trial and error and trying over and over and over again. I have nothing specific. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think the trial and error idea is actually like it's actually quite insightful, right? Like, um, but like for me, right, I'm still open to like just even the question, right, of like, wait a minute, is our current democratic system like, is this the system we want to get back to? Like, I don't know, but I'm only one voice, and I'm not like, I'm like, just a regular person. Um, but it does make me wonder, like, you know, what if we need a new democracy? Like, there's a lot of aspects of our democratic system outside of Trump that are problematic. Like, our Supreme Court does not appear to be working for us right now, right? Like, there's a lot of aspects of government. Healthcare is a disaster. And those are just the things that affect me personally, right? I mean, I don't think the way things were was like a perfect world either.
No, no.
Yeah. So, it's like I'm not trying to like advocate for anything else. But I do think it's worth exploring, right? The question of like, for me, right, what I'm quite interested in is constitutional redesign, right? Um, which is, at least invites the question of whether or not our existing constitutional arrangement is serving us the way we want to be served, right? Um, Maybe as a thought experiment, if anything, uh, to get us to, improve the system that we have. But I always like to explore the boundaries of a scenario and then ask, are those boundaries really real? Um, and I feel like in this situation, it may be helpful to explore other boundaries. But anyway, back to reality. We've got this authoritarian situation.
No, no, no. Go back to go back to that.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
back to
just
reality.
drop that in there.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So we've got this authoritarian situation that everyone knows, or not everyone, but many people are aware of. And an element of breaking pillars of support involves really like what's known as inducing defections of loyalists. That's like the key phrase. Inducing defections of loyalists. And these pillars, going to the ICE question now, one of the pillars that we are aware of, or, following the actions of, or whatever, is the security personnel pillar, right? Like we know that Donald Trump, led to the one beautiful bill passing, or whatever whatever the heck you call it. And then funding ICE for like $75 billion for like, 4 years, right? ICE is like a major pillar supporting Trump and his enablers. So the question, and I don't have the answers, right? I've got a couple answers, but there's probably like a zillion answers that could be imagined, right? In my opinion, is okay, how do you induce defections of that pillar? Like that question itself is wild, right?
Wait, which pillar?
The security personnel pillar.
Oh, 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 ooh. Hmm.
I mean,
That's
it's like
interesting.
because maybe the induced defection, like
That's interesting.
maybe the verbiage is a little it's a little like serious, right? Like you're like, oh, you're gonna
Hmm.
like a security personnel defect, like that's not patriotic, and I understand that. So I think the phrasing is weird. I think another way to think about it is to like get the system to stop working, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And like some of the protests that took place at the ICE recruiting events, I think were smart, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think it gets complicated when, I think part of it is also like not just trying to get the system to not work well. I think what I'm trying to say is that there are multiple points at which I believe you can try and put sand in the gears of the system lawfully
Hmm.
and nonviolently, right?
Hmm.
Whether it's protesting at a gathering like a recruiting event for ICE, whether it's recording ICE agents who are um, doing their following orders, I should probably say, and recording them or reporting their locations. Like, it's all freedom of speech, right?
Hmm.
I mean, we just read about the freedom of speech. I don't have like the case law in front of me, and it's probably evolving. And it may be different, in different states and yada, yada, yada. But at its core level, right? Like, you're just being a witness and you're
I
just
don't, I don't, I don't know how that could violate anything. You're just an observer. I mean, there are no laws against right now recording law enforcement. And I don't know. Oh, Nevin, would you take a look at the chat when you get to a stopping point? Sorry, I didn't want to
yeah, yeah,
forget
sorry.
Catherine. Or I can read it if you want. Catherine wrote a message
Oh,
and she said, I would like to let everyone here know that I'm involved with a group called Refuse Fascism that is working towards a very large nonviolent action in DC on the weekend of November 5th,
nice.
2025. Let everybody know you can. And Catherine, I'm with you. I'm also stressed about academia. That
Catherine,
was another.
we're gonna be posting this online, this recording, just FYI, just so you know. Like, I don't know if that's gonna change your ability to engage with us, but you can continue to engage with us in the chat if you'd like. So anyway, yeah, where were we? Freedom?
The security personnel. I'm still
Yeah, yeah,
stuck
yeah.
on that.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
was like kind
think,
of
yeah,
exploring like freedom of speech and like how you could kind of throw sand in the gears lawfully and nonviolently. That's like the question, right?
yeah,
I don't know.
just slow everything down. I mean, it would be a lot easier if we had, actual people in ICE who were engaging in malicious compliance, but
Yeah.
maybe we'll get there.
Maybe we are already there.
I mean, we might be. I would not be surprised at all, actually. And I have that actually, it sounds crazy, but yeah, I've thought of that a few times when I've seen some videos because I'm like, that's
Yeah.
that's pure incompetence. Like okay, I
Yeah.
like whatever's going on. Keep it up.
Yeah.
Don't work.
Yeah. That was a
So
little, yeah, that's a little too incompetent. Like,
yeah, some of them are like,
yeah, yeah,
well, that was funny, but okay.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
Uh,
I've never really thought about these one by one. And I don't know why I've never thought to break these down individually, like not just, I would split like, okay, corporations and business economy all in one, and then the media and party. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the order of them is totally like set by like this expert who wrote an article about this stuff, but yeah, it's interesting. So how do we anyway, so I guess the big problem, right, is like how do we weaken the pillars of support that are supporting Trump and his enablers? But then there's like other strategies that Maria Stephan suggests. One of them that we're trying to follow is bridging to Trump's base, right? And I think that if we were to try and find principled conservatives, whoops, whoops. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry. It's almost like one of those things where you like want to, be on the lookout um, in order to like kind of pull those principled conservatives a little closer to you uh, where you can, right? And I don't know where all those places are. Where I live, there's like a monthly vigil um, for people who have been abducted by ICE. And I just wonder if like you would find principled conservatives hanging out in a space like that.
I don't know like that. That might be, but I mean, Austin's a lot different than Houston, but that might be seen as extreme for them. But I've started having conversations. I'm stunned that they are not happy. They're very unhappy.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know though. People could probably just show up and check it out, kind of to see what the vigil's like.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just
That's
trying to relate
interesting.
it. I'm trying to relate the like the meta idea to like ICE, right? Like, how do you bridge to Trump's base in the context of ICE?
Oh, I don't know. I'm of two minds on this. There are those who are there and they see it. Well, there are three. They've spoken out, they see it. They're like, oh no, this is bad. I don't agree with this secret police. I did not want this. And then the silent section, as I call them, they disagree with it, but their cognitive dissonance is making them keep quiet. And then the third, who just absolutely know ICE is the best thing to ever happen to the US. But I think a big portion, a larger portion than those people are ready to shift. Jimmy Kimmel, Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
those were so, I mean, they don't like ICE, so this wouldn't be that hard.
They don't like ICE. Principled conservatives don't like ICE. Is that right?
No, what I have found out, because I don't know if you remember this, Nevin, when I first, like my first meeting, I was like, I can't have any conversations with conservatives. I can't. That's too, and no, I've shifted my outlook there a lot. And I've talked to about six, seven people. They are very principled, um, despite their votes. And yeah, they're horrified.
Yeah.
And I was stunned. I was like, wait, you don't, what did you think was going to happen? Walk me through what you thought was going to happen. But yeah, and they're just like, what can we do? What can we do? I don't know how to stop it. Why are they wearing masks? And they really are, the people I talk to are more panicked than the progressives and Democrats that I've seen, which
Yeah.
I found kind of interesting, but not unsurprising because it's their identity.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
No, it's wild, man.
um, I don't know how to translate that.
Yeah, the ice thing is hard.
Like,
I don't know. I mean, I do think there's an element of like, you know, telling the stories of people who have been abducted.
yes, yes,
It's just like for
yes.
some reason, like getting the audience of a principled conservative feels hard to do.
It's so hard.
But maybe it's not. I
It's
don't know. I
so,
mean, like maybe there someone in your family is a principled conservative, and like you just send them a little email or something. I don't know.
yeah, yes, I have been chipping away at them, and it is they're they're splitting because I know more conservative people just in generalities than I do Democrats.
Yeah,
Um, and their ground is shaking underneath them, and so now is the time to draw them in. Um, and we can't wait. And
yeah.
I don't know how to capitalize on this though.
I wonder if like because like No Kings is coming up, like No Kings 2 or
Yeah,
something. I wonder if this is an opportunity to like just have a conversation with the principled conservative and like invite them to come. Maybe inviting them to
yeah.
come is a little too much. Maybe that's too much. But just like be like, hey,
That
did you hear about No Kings or something? Do you want to check it out?
I already floated that
Yeah.
to,
I
to one
floated with
person,
someone
and
too. I floated with someone too
yeah,
because it's coming up. But then I was like, oh, dude, I mean, this guy's like not, he's not what we just discussed. But yeah, it was actually kind of nice, like to kind of just have a little bit of like, hey, what are you doing on the 18th?
yeah.
Kind
Like
of
we have
thing.
this thing going on, and
Yeah,
yeah, I had to explain to her what a protest was. She said, "Well,
yeah,
I don't want to. I don't have any of that stuff." I said, "What stuff? Markers? Whiteboards?" She said, "Well, any of that riot gear."
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was like, "No,
yeah,
babe, you're in
yeah,
Katy, Texas."
yeah. Yeah, it's wild, man. People see protests and they think anything, like they
I
just
know,
think.
and
Uh,
I do think that emphasizing, sorry, my brain jumped back, emphasizing the humanistic aspect and telling people's stories and also visuals, visuals, visuals.
yeah, yeah,
If Trump wants his strongman, okay, let's weaponize that then.
yeah, yeah. Principled conservatives, where are you?
If you want their numbers, I can give them.
No,
Um, oh, here's Catherine. Nevin, do you mind if I read Catherine's?
go ahead.
Want me to read them out loud? Okay. Um, I did not read Miles. Did anyone read Miles Taylor's books? He's an example of a principled conservative.
Oh,
There
nice.
may be some people who will be distraught over the cuts if the Democrats lose from the shutdown. And then she said, that is a great idea. I hate to quote Stalin, but he was known to have said, one person is a tragedy, a million is a statistic. Most of them resigned. Oh, well, that's great.
Is this Miles Taylor, Catherine? If you can say in the chat if this is the person you're referring to.
Yeah. Actually,
Cool.
I'm not talking for Catherine.
Is he on the outs with the Trump administration?
I'm part of the resistance inside the Trump administration. Why am I trying to click on your screen?
Huh? Oh, I don't know. Um,
Click the link, trying to click your link.
oh, it gets confusing. It's okay. Okay, so Miles Taylor's book is anonymous, Catherine says. Okay. He was anonymous. Okay, let's look at later lower in his little bio over here. Anonymous. Okay. Oh, you're right. Okay, I am part of the resistance inside the Trump administration. Um, that was the name
Oh,
of his op-ed. Okay, that is the first one. And then I guess he may have written a book or something. Um, let's look him up. So I guess he's like a okay, let's see what the next definitely not clicking X. Sorry, Elon. Let's click the Ivy League University. Is this I guess this is the same guy.
Mm,
Okay. No
go
email
back up.
address. Huh? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Let's get in touch. There's no email address listed, but maybe there's another one? Fact sheet. No. Oh, he's got a publisher page. I think we can get in touch with him this way, but you know, that's okay too.
Um, okay. Question. I could use because I think I might be, I know I have at least one principal conservative I could call right now and say, hey, help me figure some things out. I can ask whatever questions I want. That if we have a very open and engaging dialogue on both sides. What would be helpful for you to know, or anything about how they're feeling about ICE?
Oh man,
I
that's a
don't want to say what questions do you have for me to ask my friend, but basically, do you have any questions?
what about like if you just ask them what do they think about what ICE is doing? Like I just think having a dialogue is like where you could start, right? Because like you don't
Horrified.
know. What?
She's horrified.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know that she's
she said, I'm absolutely, I said, wait, yeah, what do you mean you're upset? She said, this is horrifying. What are they doing? How is this legal? Is this legal? And she's asking me, and I'm like, no. Well, how can we stop it? Is it too late? Is the damage already done? Is the next president going to be do this? Are going to be able to do this? And the questions are just like an avalanche, which is a very good sign because things are kicking around and
yeah.
they're thinking. But I'm
Um,
being very careful with those conversations to not.
I was gonna put Spectrum of Allies up quick. Yeah, no, it's I was just thinking that like kind of midway through what you said. So my apologies because I kind of maybe like kind of checked out.
Hmm?
Oh, Spectrum of Allies.
Oh,
Sorry about that. But yeah, no. So if you
I
check
like that.
Allies, right? Like it's this like concept that like you've got active, passive, neutral, passive opposition, active opposition on the spectrum of allies. It's like a strategy concept in nonviolent civil resistance. Have you ever seen this before? Yeah, you,
Me?
Britt. Yeah,
Yeah,
you've seen
yeah.
it? Oh,
I
okay.
was in with I forgot his name. He was amazing. He's an activist.
Joe.
He does the comp. Yes, Joe Worthy, right?
Joe Worthy. Yes,
Yeah,
Joe.
he worked in Côte d'Ivoire. Yes. Okay.
Okay, cool. So you've seen this before. So I only want to show this maybe for this the audience to be like, okay, so a principled conservative is basically neutral, right?
Mhm.
So how do you move someone into your camp? Or even like from passive opposition to neutral? Maybe an easier sell. What if you like help them organize? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like find each other. I mean, I can't organize for them, but like
What?
at least I don't think I can. Maybe I can.
Yes, you can do it. Try harder. Don't
But
be a
like
quitter, Nevin.
they need like some sort of like,
They do.
they need like a carrot, right? Like they need like
They
some
do. Right now, from a psychological standpoint, for what it's worth, because I've been approaching this like from the psychological aspect all year, because this is a cult. They are so uncomfortable right now and just terrified that
yeah,
it's going to have to be very, very gentle, baby steps, coaxing along. They feel a lot of shame, and we're not really, a lot of Democrats and liberals aren't really helping too much with that. So we do
yeah,
need to be very welcoming. Um,
yeah,
and okay, here's what changed my entire attitude towards working with conservatives. I think it was Joe who was speaking, and he said, you don't have to trust someone and you don't have to like them in order to work together to advance democracy. He said, by working together, that trust will develop.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? And after listening to so many organizers, if they can move forward, if they can forgive people who are actually impacted, I'm a white woman, then what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Let me drag myself out of this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are, I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
really,
guess what do you define, what defines someone switching from neutral to a passive ally? Like,
that's a
how
good
would
question.
you quantify that?
That's I don't know. I don't actually know. I mean,
Because I think that's like there's the acknowledgement, which I think is huge because
yeah.
saying it out loud, I mean, it is not unlike an addiction.
Yeah.
Step one, admit you have a problem. Um, and acknowledging it, and then,
So one really interesting
oh,
book that I'm looking at for resistance school and just like in general is called Prisms of Power. It's like this idea that like organizations like potentially, anyway, like organizations, um, they function as prisms of light. That's the idea. And
wait, to make sure you're saying PRISM as
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Mary
with an
or
yeah, yeah, yeah,
prison.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah. That's hilarious. There are also like the other kind with the N. Um, that's hilarious. So yeah, I mean, like, and that's probably true too at the same time. But yeah, so this book is like, okay, if you conceive of people's power as like the light that goes through a prism, the prism can like concentrate that light, right? And redirect it in the form of power. It's kind of like it's just like a metaphor.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I know another thing I'm hearing them say a lot. This isn't ice specific though.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine.
They it's like they're all having this realization all at once is that it's not left versus right, it's us versus them. And they are hell bent on us versus them.
Yeah.
And there are, well, so I guess if we could, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna
You gonna pass on that one?
need to stop talking. I'm muting
No, you're good.
myself.
You're totally
No,
good.
please
Totally good.
use your mute button on me.
No,
So
you're
why
totally
you have it.
no, you're totally good. Yeah, no, sometimes the thoughts they just kind of walk away. It's okay. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I think we're probably out of time for today. We talked a little bit about ICE, about the ICE Out campaign. But I'm feeling like I kind of want to turn the recording off and then like just like kind of debrief a little bit. Would that be all right? Okay, cool. Let me go ahead and turn it off. Do, do, do.